Not let his phone run down. If he had access to a phone charger, that would be the first thing that he would do. So that made me think, well, why did he not want to be there? Why did he not want to hang about to charge his phone? If he looked at his battery and it were obviously less than 10%, 5%, whatever, that just goes through my mind. And like his friends, like back here, have said, like, why did he not charge his phone? One of these guys had said he'd given him a charger, but why did he not? Why did he not charge his phone?
Have you spoken to either of them?
No, I don't know whether he tried to contact us or not, but like I say, my phone never stopped ringing, and I just didn't answer it half the time, so maybe they did.
Would you like to speak to them and ask them any questions?
Probably in time, yeah. Never stopped ringing, and I just didn't answer it half the time, so maybe they did.
Would you like to speak to them and ask them any questions?
Probably in time, yeah.
And what would you ask them if they were sitting in front of you now?
Just, you know, what we're going through, you know, why he went with them, what we're going through, in their opinion, what would be going through Jay's mind. I mean, I seen something that, you know, he was saying he wanted to come with us, but I don't know, I can't get my head round why he just didn't go back to his own friends, you know. There's not very many times that I can think where Jay's not been contactable, and if he's not, he'll ring me. I've got half of his friends' numbers in my phone because he's rung me and, Mum, it's me, I'm on such body's phone. So right, well, I'll save his number then. Just that. Why did he not charge his phone? Why did he walk that way, not that way? And when you're up there and you're looking down and you can see civilization, buildings, traffic, it's a tourist place. There were a bus stop at the end of the street, there were a bus stop further down. I just can't comprehend, I just can't get into my head why he would have gone the total opposite way. Instead of going down to civilization, why he would go up the other way. I just can't get my head round that bit. It's in the middle of nowhere, middle of mountains. In our minds, as a family, friends, he's not realised where, it was still dark. I just think he's not even thought about, or if he even knew in which direction he were going, where he were going to.
Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of JAYS Slater. May he rest in peace. This was the exclusive interview that the mother did with the son. And it's really sad, heartbreaking to hear what she's been through. Especially the fact that trolls were sending her messages on WhatsApp and Snapchat as soon as she landed, and they said, you can forget about your son, kiss your son goodbye. He's caught himself up in a serious situation, basically that he owes a lot of rug money, and due to that she's not going to see him again. There was a lot of text messages being sent that he was alive, he was buried somewhere near the beach, but it seems to all be a lie. It seems like now that the mother has finally come back to her hometown in Lancashire. She's obviously still grieving, but seems like she's starting to see clearer now. Because I watched, there's bits and bits of this interview that's coming out, and the mother speaks about Lucy May, Jay's friend, and she says she has a lot of questions there too. She just appreciates the fact that Lucy is an 18-year-old girl, but that Lucy called her at once when Jay was missing, and that is true. But I think that the mother is catching up to the lifestyle of Lucy May. I believe that was allegedly not good company for Jay anyone. She has the connections in Tenerife, Spain. It's a concerning, dangerous place. It's known for many criminal activities. And for Lucy May to be traveling to so many countries just for 2 days and 1 day stay in hotels sounds a bit fishy. Obviously, the mother wants to ask questions to Ayub Qasim, which I think she's completely right. She has the right to ask him, because that was the first question I asked too. If Jay charged his phone at the motel, at the BNB, if he charged his phone there, why would he still have only 1%? That doesn't make sense. And I always believe that something happened. If this story and this version is true, something happened that really freaked poor Jay out, that he ran from the Airbnb. Why are two adult men, 30 and 30-something, taking a 19-year-old boy home with them? Doesn't make sense. And they let him wander off by himself? Let him take the bus? Whether you met someone today or yesterday, it's about the guest hospitality. You brought the person far away from the areas. And Ayub, you're from UK too. You're a British citizen, so why are you doing that? You should have been looking after this poor 19-year-old boy who had no one there. Did you pay Alifira, whatever her name is, the woman who runs the Airbnb, did you pay her to say that she saw Jay? Did anyone actually see Jay? And what were you doing at night searching for Jay, calling out Jay's name? You and Lucy and Brandon. That's what he said. He said you went to the side of the mountain and you're yelling, Jay, Jay. I thought Jay went missing in the morning. And I thought you were sleeping. You moved your car and you went back to sleep. What's up with all these lies? What happened to that boy?
To him earlier on. They'd just been chilling round their apartment during the day because they were obviously tired, because they'd been to the Friday event, the Saturday event. The Saturday event were the pool party. He spoke to me earlier and he said he'd burnt his shoulders, and I've packed him off with some blooming, what do you call it, aloe vera, like after sun gel. I said, make sure you put that on, and I said, what you doing? He said, we're going to go and get food soon. And then he were walking, him and Brad were, because he said, why have you booked an apartment so far away? And I said, because I wanted you to have somewhere, nice to stay, because you've got your 3-day event and then you've got another 4 days, and I wanted you to be somewhere nice. He said, well, and then we're going to the the last night of the event, he said, I'm not going mad, I'm going to have a few drinks, I'm not going mad because I don't want to be, I don't want to be rough and I want to enjoy the rest, get a tan and stuff.
So Jay Slater's last and final call to his mother the night before, I believe, was that he said he was going to get some food with Brady. So we have more clearer information. Jay was sharing our coordination with Brady, not with Lucy May. And he was kind of upset that his mother rented them accommodation a bit far from the party. And his mom said that she wanted him to enjoy the last 4 days after the 3 days festival out in the accommodation. So it seems like Jay, when you look at his behavior, Patty, rest in peace, he really wanted to continue partying. And for him to continue partying, it's going to be difficult if his friends leave him and go home, especially Brady, because he has no accommodation to go to. So he didn't lie about that part. When he went with Ayub and Ayub's friend, Rocky. I wish Jay had a coordination nearer. But I wonder if that would have changed much, if it would have changed anything at all. Because it's the people Jay got caught up with. He was young, he was vulnerable, and I believe they took advantage of him. Although Lucy May herself is young, but she looks like she's experienced in certain things, and by her living in Tenerife and flying there so often, she knows the inside and outside of the town. And let's be honest, Lucy and Brady and Brandon haven't been honest. May Jay rest in peace. We want justice for Jay, and we want to know the truth. What really happened to Jay? Was it a setup? Was it the man bag he was carrying that got robbed? Was he a target? Could it have anything to do with the crimes in 2021? Did the victim, Tom Hilton, retaliate or send someone? What about the Rolex that Martin was talking about? Was that all a conspiracy theory? I believe the mother knows more to the story, but she doesn't want to let everything out. And plus, there is a investigation going on behind the scene. There's going to be an inquest soon, so she can't say much. So I believe this is extremely, extremely important. Jay's mom and Brady's mom definitely rented a accommodation that they were sharing far away from the festival. And Jay wanted to continue partying. He didn't want to go home. Lucy May must have gone home early on purpose. What happened at the beach? Was there a fight that night? Why was these people searching for Jay at night? Didn't you go missing during the day? The locations, the phones, the timelines, nothing makes sense. Why would Jay just go off and wander in a place that has terrains and everything? Doesn't make sense. Was all this planned and set up? Lucy's a friend of Tom Hilton on Facebook, and so is Brady. And that is the young man who was the victim of Jay and Jay's friends. May he rest in peace.
Watch what you're doing. Enjoy yourself. I love you. He used to call me mother. I love you, mother. To say I love you, my boy. And that was what we said to each other. Like a happy kid.
The best little brother anyone could ever wish for.
He was so loved by everybody. Just a lovely boy with just a massive personality, and just everybody just loved Jay being in their company. From family, friends, you know, work, and just everybody loved being around Jay. Because he was just always full of, you know, full of fun, smiling. He just did a lot of good for everybody, and you know, all his friends. He was like the main guy, if you will. You know, he was just a great kid. You know, he was just a happy kid. No problems. You know, he was good at. You know, he went to a nice primary school. Our local primary school. It was just so popular, just from word go, you know, from playing out on the front in the front garden. All the neighbours it was just brilliant.
Oh, it was obviously with the best little brother anyone could ever wish for. Always smiling, always happy. He just laughing all over the party. Just
Even at a young age, you know, with that big circle of friends that we had when we all used to do things together, go on holidays together, you know, Jay were always the centre of just everyone, really. Just loved his football. He played for Huncourt United from the age, I think he started when he was 5, and then the first team in the league, you know, when they were old enough. And he played right through. He was the same on holiday, weren't he? When you lot, there's 5 years between these, but like when they go and meet all the other kids, like Jay were always the one up. He's dancing. He loved his dancing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Music, just dance to anything, didn't he? Yeah. He worked hard, and then at weekends he just loved spending time with his friends. But obviously he loved being at home as well. He loved it when you and Jess came and we had that family time.
Yeah.
You know, we went to cinema and stuff recently, and
This is really heartbreaking. No parent should lose their child. And no child should lose their parent either. It's just heartbreaking. I'm sure Debbie feels guilty. She feels like she wished Jay didn't make that choice to go on the holiday to Tenerife. She wished she didn't encourage him. That's what she said. But I believe this is all destiny. Our fate is written. It's just sad that there's so many evil people in this world. Really hurtful. Jay's friends could have protected him. They could have made sure they put him in a cab and took him home. Lucy made sure she went out first, and then Brad, you know. I think they abandoned poor Jay that night. He had nobody. He had nobody that night. I felt so sorry for him. Jay wouldn't have just wandered off to that place. I wonder at times if Jay even made it to Masca, or if this is all a cover-up. And where is that Christopher P? He disappeared. Was it TikTok that deleted his account? That man acted like a ex-military mountain climber. He was helping in the search.
and stuff recently, and we went to watch a Bob Marley movie. It were more for like my reasons, because I wanted to go. I said, "Are you going to come and see it with me?" He went, "Yeah, I will do, mother." And he took a picture with me outside with the blooming big cardboard cutout Bob Marley, and he was sending all Snapchat things to his friends, and they were all, because his friends knew how what a good relationship we had, and they used to love it, you know. Me and Jay in car, and he'd always send them a snap, and then when we came out we put Bob Marley on, and then there were an advertisement at the end for Amy Winehouse movie. He said, "I suppose we'll be going to see that, won't we, Mum?" I said, "Of course we will," because that were why he always used to sing Amy Winehouse. He liked cooking and stuff. He was always in the kitchen with me every night. What we having, what we're making, and he were a good cook. Stir fries mainly, chicken, and throw all sorts in it. But he always had to buy fresh.
Such a beautiful picture. They both look so handsome and cute. Jay was just such a beautiful child. He was always smiling. Rest in peace. Rest in heaven, Jay. May justice be served. That's why it's important that we follow our teenagers, especially who they hang around with. What kind of friends they have, who they socialize with, who they text and communicate on social media. It is a full-time job being a parent, especially in these times. My youngest child is Jay's age, so it really breaks my heart. It is heartbreaking. This young man did not deserve what happened to him. And the strange thing is, living in London for so many years, I have to say this, all the people who seem to be involved in this case happen to all be from the UK. They happen to be British, let's be honest. From Jay, may rest in peace, to his friends Brady, Brandon, Lucy May, Ayub Qasim, Rocky, Christopher P. So I hope they do a proper inquest in the UK. I wonder what the autopsy will show.
Blooming, what do you call it, aloe vera, like after sun gel. I said, "Make sure you put that on," and I said, "What you doing?" He said, "We're going to go and get food soon." And then he were walking, him and Brad were, because he said, "Why have you booked an apartment so far away?" And I said, "Because I wanted you to have somewhere, you know, nice to stay, because you've got your 3-day event and then you've got another 4 days, and I wanted you to be somewhere nice." He said, "We're going for food, and then we're going to the last night of the event." He said, "I'm not going mad, I'm going to have a few drinks, I'm not going mad because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be rough, and, you know, I want to enjoy the rest, get a tan." And it was an incident where there were probably a couple of 100 people there, and a lad got attacked by what he described as 20 kids. But because he were there and people were going and giving statements, and I said to Jay, "I think you should go and do a statement," because they were appealing for witnesses and what have you. So I took him myself, I took him to the police station at Blackburn, Greenbank police station, and he gave his version of events, and he weren't, I didn't think anything of it. I just said, "Just go, tell them your version," and that were that. nothing were really mentioned afterwards. You know, there were names flying around, and obviously there is a big group of friends. And then it weren't till the following April, so that was the August, following April, a letter came through saying that Jay were being charged with violent disorder, and I was like, what's going on? So I rang the police station straight away, and because Jay's name had been mentioned, out of 20 people who'd apparently attacked him, there was eight boys that got named, and Jay's name were one of the names. Jay attended the trial. The statements that were taken saying Jay was stood at the back, but obviously the 8 were found guilty by jury, and they were all found guilty, and they all got community service. It's kind of guilty by association. Don't mean to say that he struck a blow, that he harmed Tom, and I think he's seen him since. There's grown men, dads, granddads, who get done for violent disorder for a fight that breaks out, say, outside a football stadium most weekends, you know. But because of, obviously, you know, Jay's in the limelight, they just every bad thing that they can say about him, they have done. They don't know his background, they don't know his upbringing, they don't know anything about Jay, these people.
Just all these people who were just saying horrible things about him, he weren't that person. He loved being with his family, and they weren't a bad person. You know, people dragging up all things that they don't even know about when it was in court.
Jay's mother has also said in the interview, and Jay's brother, that Jay's brother and Jay's father tried going to the Airbnb in Masca. They tried speaking to the manager, Ophelia, the woman who gave Jay the directions, and she was very rude. As soon as she saw the father, Jay's father and Jay's brother, she started bringing the chairs inside the cafeteria, and she locked the cafeteria up. So there's the language barrier, plus the fact that she doesn't want to answer questions. I've always said in my contents about this case about Jay that the manager of the Airbnb seems to be hiding something. And if Jay had 1% battery, why is Ayub saying that he asked for a charger and he gave him the charger? And that Jay charged his phone. What happened to Jay that night? Why did it take Brady 11 days to come forward and speak to Good Morning Britain? Why did it take him 11 days? This is supposed to be his best friend. Brady is friends with Jay is, can't say enemy, but the young man that he and his group assaulted. So Brady is a friend on Facebook. You can go back to my previous content about Jay Slater and you can check the Facebook connection. So Brady's friends with both Jay and Jay's enemy, Tommy Hilton. And so is Lucy May. Why didn't Brandon show his face? What was he hiding? Why wasn't Brandon and Lucy May allowed to come to the party in the pub? The after party for JAYS' funeral. May rest in peace. May Jay rest in peace. And I really understand, respect Jay's mother's grieving, Debbie, but I don't agree with her totally when she compares fights that grown adult men have on football stadiums and on football places, and people and the cops have to intervene and everyone gets locked up, because this is a totally different case. This young man, Tommy Hilton, trigger warning, was targeted with the machete, axe, and worse items. Was attacked by 8 people. A girl literally had to throw herself on his body so that they could stop assaulting him. And I'm sure there were CCTV cameras. The court wouldn't have just given them community service. May Jay rest in peace. I feel sorry for both these young men, and I hope that Tommy Hilton has nothing to do with this. We lost one young man, Jay, who was so loved. I don't think it's fair to lose another one. We need to let them both live and rest in peace. So Jay was not staying with Lucy. He and Brady were sharing a accommodation that was far away from the festival. So when Jay said he doesn't have keys and he went with Ayub, I really believe he didn't want to go home because it was far away from the festival and he didn't want to call it a night. But what happened after that? We have Lucy May living a lavish lifestyle. The question is, how does she afford it at such a young age? And how well does she know Ayub and his friends?
She reported him missing and described the desperate search to find him. The 19-year-old was on the island for a music festival and was last heard from on Monday. It's his first foreign holiday away with friends. And he called his friend Lucy Law just after 8 o'clock on Monday morning and shared his location with her, a mountainous area in the northwest of the island, which is popular with hikers. He told her he was going to walk back to where they were staying in Los Cristianos, but that's around 30 miles away. I spoke to Lucy earlier this evening.
I'd gone home from the NRG festival a little bit earlier than everybody else because I was tired. So I'd gone home alone back to my apartment, and then I woke up to a phone call at like 8:30 in the morning, around 8:30, from Jay saying that he'd gone up to the mountains, that his phone was on 1%, so it was like about to die. He didn't know where he was. He needed a drink. That he'd cut all his leg on like a cactus, and that he had no idea where we were. So I said to him, like, if you're not going to listen to anything I'm going to say, like, you need to listen now. You need to go back to wherever you've just come from before your phone dies, and I'll come and pick you up from there. Like, you need to go back there. He said to me, I can't go back there. I don't know where it is. So I just said, send me like a location. So he sent over a screenshot of his last location. So I went straight. The first thing I did when the phone had cut off was I rang the police. So I rang 911 and spoken to the people there, and they told me that they'd sent a helicopter out. But later on, I'd spoken to somebody who lived up in the mountains, and they'd said they hadn't heard any helicopters, which obviously if there was a helicopter, definitely would have heard it. So I think they just totally fobbed me off with that. I don't even think they did. So after like half an hour, I had no updates. So I rang back and I said, has the helicopter had any sightings of him? Has anybody seen him? Like, I'm really, really worried. They said no, they've not seen anything, but they were like, out looking for him. So I thought, right, I'm not getting anywhere with this phone call. Like, every time I'd ring the police, like, they just kept ending the phone on me, like they were just so unbothered by the full situation. So I thought, right, I need to get a taxi as soon as possible down to the police station and speak to them in person. So I got a taxi down to the closest police station. I was literally there within the hour of the phone call. So I'd gone in, I said, I really need to report somebody missing. But I said, it's not like they're just missing around here, like, he's missing in a very, like, abandoned place. There's nothing up there, it's just mountains. She gave me a piece of paper that said that I needed to go online, fill in a form, and then within 48 hours I'd receive a code, and I'd bring the code back to the police station, and then I could file a report. I said, within 48 hours, like, it could be fake. So I said, this needs reporting right now. So we'd come up, there was actually no sign of him anywhere. Like, we drove around all day, there was actually nothing, no sign of him. I went into a restaurant that was halfway up on the viewpoint.
And is that where you are now, Lucy? You're staying at the coast, but you're now up in the mountains where you think Jay was.
I've literally not slept at all since I've got that phone call at 8 o'clock.
We all hope that the search continues and Jay is found safe and sound. But the final question is, what is he like? What's he like at home? Is he sensible, or is he a bit more of a risk taker? What's Jay like?
He's not a risk taker at all. That he wouldn't do anything. Like, I don't know why. I can't understand why he would come out of the house and then decide that he was going to walk. I don't know why he would do that. And then I think he set off walking with battery and not realised how far the walk actually is. And then when he's obviously, or when I've spoken to him, he said he'd already walked about half an hour. And then obviously, I don't know if he's walked half an hour down the road and then put it into his maps. And then obviously it said it's like really far. I really don't know why he set off walking. There isn't much up here. However, there are cars that come up here. There are people that come up here to hide. Like, I've seen so many people up here, and I've asked every single one if they've seen him, and nobody's seen him. And this is what I find weird, because if he'd have seen somebody or a car or a person, he would have either flagged down the car. He would have said to someone like that he needs to phone to contact someone. And also, it's like he would never have his mum worrying like this. He would never have his family worrying like this. He would never have us worrying like this. Like, if he saw someone, the first thing he would do is say, I need to ring my mum. Like, I know that for a fact.
Lucy seems to be lying in the interview. Her story doesn't make sense. I found it strange that she said that when she spoke to Jay, she said, if you are going to listen to me ever, you better listen to me now. What I need you to do is go back to where you came from before you fall. Why would she say that? Because when he spoke to her, he said he got caught by a cactus. He sent her his location, but he still wasn't at the mountains and cliffs and the ravines. So why would she say, before you fall? Does she mean It's dangerous areas, so before you hurt yourself more, like you cut yourself on the cactus. How come they never found the cactus with the blood? How come? The dogs would have found it by now. It doesn't make sense at all. Why would Jay come up here? He can see how dangerous it is. I wonder if he is climbing up or going down. He must have been climbing up and fell off. Or, if this was foul play, they could have rolled him easily down so that he injures himself more. He could have been unconscious. Let's not forget, Ayub clearly said, me and Lucy and Brandon, no, me, Lucy, Brandon, and another mate of mine was searching for Jay at the mountain at night. We were yelling out, Jay, Jay. That's what he said. Why are all these people lying? What happened to this young man who trusted his friends, went on a holiday, just wanted to have adventure? He was doing his last year in bricklaying. Jay's problem was Jay trusted these people. And Tenerife is not one of the best places for young people, teenagers, youths. There's a lot of criminal activities. Where is Christopher P? Does he actually know Ayub? Is he the mastermind behind all these criminal activities happening? Was he trying to divert the search into places Jay wasn't, so that they could actually put him there, so they could put Jay there? It took 29 days to find Jay, and this man has no empathy. He doesn't show any empathy. The picture he showed us in the beginning, that he was there to help this young man, and the way he turned out to be, is really concerning. What happened to Jay Slater? Rest in peace, Jay. This picture was taken a couple of hours before Jay was reported missing. The one on the right with the circle around. Jay looks very dehydrated. He's very intoxicated. Tenerife is a place full of rugs. I wonder if something happened to him at the nightclub. What if Jay didn't even make it to Masca? What if Masca was just an alibi? Rest in peace, Jay. Condolence to your mother, brother, father, sister-in-law, friends, loved ones. If it's an accident, it's really unfortunate. But if it isn't, that is even worse. May the correct justice be served. Please like, share, and subscribe.